up and running now, and it looks like we are basically flat. We were down quite a bit. Now we are basically flat. The NASDAQ just went green again. It's absolutely amazing how this market keeps going up. I I'm I just want to give everybody the cautionary story is that when you have a market that is going down a lot, that is a unhealthy market. When you have a market that is going up too much, too fast, then that is also an unhealthy market. And eventually things must correct, right? It's like that law that what goes up must come down, right? And this is the same type of concept. But this can go on for a long period of time, and it's been going on for 5, almost 6 months now, and we are not seeing a slowdown yet here. I mean, if you take out the small period of time in March that, in retrospect, it's a small period in time. It was, it was a huge move during that first half of March. But if you take that out, we've been pretty much going up for the whole year, and if you want to go back even further, for 12 years. So you can go on for a long time, but the previous years, besides this year, it was a little bit more rational movement to it. It was some two-sided action. Maybe the market was going up, but not as ridiculous as it has to this point. But with that said, I wanted to jump in and kind of get some trade ideas and think of, and try to do a one-day trade here, see what we can do. So we have the ES this morning that I'm looking at, and I was trying to go no higher than the 15 delta, but unfortunately this is giving me the 17 delta, so I don't want to go as higher than that. So if I do a 20-point wide here at the 400, I want to receive at least $50. So I would need this market to move up a little bit if I would get filled on something like this. So that's the 400 strike. If I go and look at the SPX and see how that is looking, let's go over there real quickly, and let's go to this. You have to go to this weekly zero here, and that AM one is already expired. All right, so I can go to this 10 delta, let's say 10 points wide, and that's just under $50 before fees and commissions. So I wouldn't do this one yet either, unless I can get at least $50. That's just my arbitrary rule of being able to do this. And let's see, let's put this in for a second and see what happens if it'll let us do this. That's 51. Let's send it and see if somehow they just fill us here. And we got the ES going. Oh, we don't have the ES going. Thought I had the ES going. All right, I'm waiting on the ES. All right, so trying to see if we get a pull up a little bit. So the expected move right now is about 12. So this is about 20 points away from the expected move right now. And let's see here. I prefer to do it in the ES. And let's go back over there. And the ES one is trading a little lower than the SPX right now. This is not the one I want to look at. And let's go over here to this 0 day here, and we're looking at the 400 strike, and it's still a little off. Hey, Pumpkin, that's a pretty dress. I apologize for that. My daughter just came in and wanted me to see her dress. With that said, let me give you a few trade ideas, and we'll let that bake, and we'll come back to this ES for a second. What I was looking at this morning is going long the RTY, because that's been the best trading vehicle. It's been the thing that's not being controlled by 5, 6, 7 stocks. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500 is being controlled by Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, you know, Facebook, companies like that is basically controlling those indexes, and the Russell doesn't, you know, have those in part because it's small cap. So the Russell's been trading, it's been a marvelous trading vehicle outside of that, you know, half a month in March. So if you want to, you know, kind of ramp up your trading and put on a little bit more risk, I would personally do it in the Russell. So I'm looking at this RTY here this morning, and what I'm going to give you a couple trade ideas. The first one is it was down a little bit more, so it might not be you might have to let it come to you, see if we get a pullback a little bit today. But I was looking at selling the 1230 with 56 days to, and I'm really off this morning, clicking on weird stuff. All right, so 56 days to go here, looking at the 1230, which is way down here, and at the time it was a 7 delta, still a 7 delta, just not the nearest at the money 7 delta, and buying the 1190, which is a 40-point wide spread. I was looking at it for 215, and I would put it in at that and let it fill at that. If you get it at 215, you can get more. You can get more than 100. You can get at least $100 for that type of spread. I like that trade, and then I would hedge it using the IWM. Now, the next trade, and we're gonna kind of see which one is best here. The next trade I was looking at in the RTY is actually going a little closer this time, going to the 1340 and doing the width of the spread only 20 points wide. So this is the trade, and putting that in at 215 as well. So it's the same type of trade, just different probabilities. One is at a 7, one is at a 14, one is a 40-point wide, one is a 20-point wide. This is the 20-point wide. So this depends on your risk tolerance, which one you would like to do, right? So I like them both. And let's see here. The Russell just fell a little bit. I like this one. I'm going to send this one for now, and we'll see if we can get filled on that one at the 215. And then even though I have a lot of Russell on right now in this account, I am okay with doing that. The next trade I was looking at this morning is the 6E, and this is going out for 49 days. This is going to be an indirect type of going long if you want to go long. So for example, this is the market. That's the ES is, this is how the market has been going up with the ES. This is how the NASDAQ has been going up, as you can see here. This is, you know, they've pretty much been going up across the board. But if you bring in this 6E, this euro currency, you can see it's been doing the same thing. It had a little drop here, you know, today, but it's been going up as well, as you can see here. So this can be somewhat of an indirect long. So I was looking at going this time. I think yesterday I probably provided something on the call side, and if you put that on, you're doing okay with that today. So today, if you didn't put that on, I'm talking about the put side. If you wanted some indirect long delta, so selling the 1.145, buying the 1.135. So this is a 14 delta trade. You know, it's a Dorian Way. We trade between the 5 and the 15 delta, no higher than the 15 delta, primarily between the 5 and the 7 delta. With that said, this is, I was looking at it for 0.00100, and that's what it's trading at right now. You can see that this can be a really good indirect hedge. The buying power is not very much, and you can see that you're getting at least 128 if you can get at that price. Actually, that moved a little bit. Now it's even better, right? So that's lock it at that, and let's unlock it. As well, the mid is 100 there. And let's see how much it's down. It's not down that much. So I still like it at 100. You're still getting 166 for this, and then you can hedge this if you would like on the ETF. I would hedge this. So I'm going to send this. I'm going to send this recording. I mean this trade as well, and see if we get filled. And this is the trade I was looking at. And the next thing I wanted to look at is the VDA. And I should have closed my office door today. I apologize if you can hear my daughter running and screaming. All right, so this is Namibia that we were looking at the other day. We were trying to do a day trade, or excuse me, an earnings trade in it, and we were not able to get filled. It was down earlier, now it's up. All right, so we got filled in that euro position, and so that's what we got filled in so far. And we're gonna go and we're going to hedge that euro position. And I have forgotten what the ETF is for that. I think it's I can't remember. So anyway, we're gonna bring it out there. We're gonna just go get something here really quickly and bring that hedge up, because if you followed me on that, I want you to have a hedge on it. So it's gonna go over here really quickly and get that. Hopefully you can see the screen and it's not freezing here. All right, so going over to just to get the hedge really quickly. I forgot for some reason I'm drawing a blank what the hedge is. So you see,
FX.
slow computer, would you like to hide webcams to improve meeting performance? What does that mean? So are we having a problem with the coverage? I mean, with the delay, Claudia? Are we experiencing a delay?
No.
No. Okay, good.
But I think the ETF for that one is FXE.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Claudia. FXE. It is. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So we were at the 50. We were at the 49 days. I'm going to go with the 42 days here, and I'm going to. We received a little over $100, like 116. I'm going to just use up to $30. So I'm going to go. In this case, I'm going to try this. See what this is. That's the 44 delta. All right. So that's 41. I'm going to move it down a little bit here and do the 37 delta. That's 33. A little bit. Let's try this one here. That's 25. And I can do at the money at half a point there, but that's only going to give me 27 max. So we're not going to do that. All right, so let's go here. Let's try this. The 30 delta, and we're going to go normal here. It's 25, $25. Hit this here and hit send, and we'll see if we can get filled. We could try. Let's see what a broken wing butterfly would look like here. So if we bought this one and we sold this one and bought this one, made this a 2 to make a broken wing butterfly, that would actually be around the same cost, and we can get it for a decent amount. Let's try. I mean, it's about, the hedge is about the same though, actually. All right, let's see what that looks like. That's not too bad there. Let's try that one here, and let's give it a little. Let's give it a little. Let's try it there. All right, so that got filled. The hedge. I mean, the broken wing butterfly. So let's cancel this one here. All right, so the broken wing butterfly got filled, and it's hedging us a decent amount there. All right, so if you want to do that trade, you can put on the broken wing butterfly as well as a hedge. And all right, so that was the last trade I wanted to look at. Let's go and see what that SPX is looking like right now in the working area. All right, so it could get filled here. It's saying 52. Or it was saying 57 there. It's jumping around. Let's go back to that ES really quickly, and let's see what that's looking like with the 1 day trade. Move this up here, and we're going to the 0 day here. Let's see, we're at the 400. The mid right now is 70, so it's not going to give me any of that. It's not going to. It's already dropped to a 9 delta, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But I do have a 15 now. This was fluctuating between the 15 and the 19. If I move that up, I would get what I want, but I'm not going to do it based on it being a 19 delta right now. So with that said, this is the positions we're going to do this morning. We are, just to go over this really quickly, we have an ES All right, so that SPX got filled this morning. So that is the 1-day trade that we have on, and it's up a little bit here. And let's go and let's look at this here. All right, so 0 days to go, and we are at the 10 delta now, the 3405. The expected move is 13. So we're gonna let that play out. We received the $50 that we wanted. So if you're following me, you can do that as well. If we get in a problem, I'm gonna move this 5 points like this here, move it 5 points, and then I'm going to finance it by adding the put side. But what I'm hoping to do, what I'm betting on, is that it's not going to go up too much today, or it's not going to go up as fast until I can get out of this. But we're at that 8:45 mark here, and it looks like we're on the highs of the morning on the ES there. Let me just double check that right there. So the high was 33.93. So we're not at the high yet. So there's a high since I've looked at it this morning. When I got up at 4, the market was down, the ES was down double digits. So now it's we get closer to the opening, people want to buy some more, and we are ridiculously overbought, but that's the game we're playing right now. All right, so any questions about this live pop-up trading at this point? Any questions about why we're doing this day trade, why we did that euro trade? And let me see, do we have anything else on? We have this RTY on. That's the only thing. We're gonna close that. If you wanted to do that, you can, but we've already put on 2 positions. One position is going to be obviously a little long term. We have that 6E on for 49 days. We have this SPX on. It's a 1-day trade. We are already down on it, just $5, but we'll see how that goes. What I'm going to do is get out at 50%, 50 to 75%. We'll see how that plays out. If we get just a little pushback down today, I would probably be able to get out of this by 9:30. If we don't, then it's going to be a long day in this, because the SPX is probably going to try to hit an all-time high. The ES, the all-time high was 33.97, and today is probably the day they want to do it, and we'll see. I've been thinking that it could have been any day this week, but for some reason it hasn't hit that March high yet, or that February high. Looking at the SPX, let's look at that. That's actually hit its high already. As you can see, it was just a few days ago, so it's not too far from that, and it can obviously go back up to there. It's not far from there right now. So we'll see. It's a Friday. We've been going up all week. Seems no catalyst to go down at this point, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, so any questions before we conclude? All right, so if we don't have any questions, I thank everyone for joining me this morning for this pop-up live session. And if you have any issues with your account, you need help, please let me know. Otherwise, send me your status this morning